2:24, so it's 2:17 p.m. August 3rd, 2021. Waiting on the little bus. 11 p.m. August 3rd, 2021. Played live by a real military person. 1:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I clocked at 7 minutes fast. We just came up this street right here next to the state police and the laundromat. And we seen this county cop heading north, going up like he was gonna, like he just did. And then he came back down. Then he came around and came back up the street we just walked up. I don't know what that was about, if he was just trying to see what we were up to, who we were, or what. Just wanted to catch a peek at us. So yeah, I'm gonna water the puppy now.
What are you getting from him?
Just some bones, buddy. $137, so it's $130. He's low for bones. They didn't have his kind of bones at the store. I was going to get him some. The benches are wet. I don't know why they're so wet. They were wet, like somebody sprayed them with water.
No, because it rained earlier.
Oh, it rained earlier. Okay. And the benches just didn't dry. Yep. Got that plastic coating on them. They don't dry. So, yeah. It was probably too humid for them to dry. But yeah, it's mid to upper 50s right now. Humidity makes it feel warmer than it is. Lately I've been contemplating, you know, there's entities that you don't want around your children. I don't know, like dope fiends and sexual predators, most especially those who would get off on having sex with somebody child-minded, because, well, you know, your child is child-minded, so you'd want to protect them from that energy. You wouldn't want no spirit of molestation or drug addiction to jump onto your child. And that's why you don't want people like that to hug your kid, touch your kid, or be around your kid. But in this generation, they've managed to infiltrate your child's mind with the influence, the toxic influence of the mainstream, those who are famous. Those who now you can see are like their health is suffering from the break in the adrenochrome, you know, which is the adrenalized blood of tortured children. Yeah, well, you see, they broke that shit up. They made a big show of the Epstein thing, that they were breaking all that up. They interrupted the supply. And now for them to get their what's left of the limited supply, for them to get anything, they have to go to those who have elected themselves as authorities, you know, the billionaires and shit. And they let this stuff go on so that they could control these famous people. Because, well, you notice that they'll get behind shit. They'll say that they have a loved one who died from the hoax, right? I mean, you know, they might die if they get a shot, and then, you know, they get that thing that they're injecting people with to make them really sick, right? But they're saying that, oh yeah, like dude's 38-year-old son supposedly died of it and shit. No, he didn't. Okay. But well, you know, you got to get your adrenochrome. We understand, Mr. Famous Celebrity. Look at you withering away. Look at Don Lemon. He's saying everything, you know, white motherfuckers put in his mouth. You see, he's like he might as well be a puppet with a white hand up in his ass, you know, because he don't say nothing but what he's told to say, and he's told to say it by, well, juju beings, you know. Those who first infiltrated Jerusalem and they took over the scrolls. Christ fought against them, the scribes and Pharisees. And he warned back then that there wasn't any sound doctrine, and there wouldn't be in the end times for real. But sound doctrine is also translated as truth, and you're not allowed to tell the truth. You can make videos torturing animals and stuff like that, put all that in your non-tamperable, non-deletable spirit memory, and attract all those who would be entertained by it so that they put it in their non-tamperable, non-deletable spirit memory, and then, you know, die to get time looped as the animals that suffered. Yeah, and then get spiritually executed to never get born when this thing gets taken back to a restore point and it gets restarted for the next timeline. See, that's a way of protecting the entities in the next timeline and the real world that they may graduate to. It's a way of protecting them from the toxicity. You see? The toxic elements are here. They're showing their ass. They're torturing animals. They're raping babies and retarded people. They're bullying people. They're gang stalking. They're doing everything but what they should do. You know, I'm sure within fucking goddamn 2 blocks of everybody, you know, who ever looks at a video on the internet, within 2 blocks of them is an animal that could use their help, or a person. You see. And it's all on perspective. Do you want to have in your non-tamperable, non-deletable spirit memory that even records your thoughts and omissions, so it records what you're thinking while you omit to do what you're supposed to do, while you fail to do it, while you sit here and fail your pre-existence. But then you get collected on in the time loops for everything you negatively affected. Boy, oh boy, is that a whole lot of motherfuckers that are in power right now, right? And those who have influencing people to accept a hoax as reality. It's like, get time looped as everybody and everything they negatively affected, which includes a lot of famous celebrities because, well, their fans are doing evil shit and they're not trying to influence them to do anything different, so, you see. And that's that weak influence. It turns into toxicity, you know. Their fans become entertained by violence, and then it doesn't matter who the violence is perpetuated against or what it's perpetuated against. It could be an animal, it could be a child, it could be a woman, it could be a retarded woman, it could be a retarded person, an autistic kid, you know, just anything that they can bully, that, you know, that they can get over on, you see. And they get time looped as their victims and spiritually executed after they get time looped. You see, the spiritual execution makes them never get born to perpetuate what they got time looped to punish them for. That's the beauty of this thing, is they're not even allowed to perpetuate it, but they're going to be punished for it as if they did it. Because, well, yeah, I had to undo it, as it was, you know, as it was warned he would do. He would restore this thing twice, once for the new timeline and once to give it back to Lucifer and those who will inhabit this thing, you know, after we're all done here with the SpiritScan, this simulation. It's like it's a piece of art. It's Lucifer's art. It's very realistic, you know, and it's just beautiful that it has the you know, rewind, undo, failsafe, where it's like all the suffering can be undone, and then we have it on record who would do the suffering so that we can time loop them and spiritually execute them to never get born, to perpetuate what they had to be time looped for. It's beautiful. It's the snake eating itself. That's probably the mentality it originated from. Ooh, I got a kamikaze mosquito trying to crawl in my ear. So the wetness is inspiring some mosquitoes. So I refer to those that are here that have accrued a debt. I refer to them as welfare phantoms because, well, they came here and accrued a debt to the mechanism. This mechanism sits in the life museum in the future, in the real world. It's sitting there right now in the real world, okay? There's no common inhabitants on the real world right now. There's only the elite. And elite doesn't mean rich. Elite means something totally different in the next timeline and in the real world. It doesn't mean rich, famous, or, you know, high maintenance, people that need a lot and have a lot, you know. It doesn't mean anybody like that. You know, there's nobody famous in the next timeline or in the real world. They got TimeLoops for their toxic influence. As all the entities that their fans negatively affected. Tortured animals, tortured kitties, children who were tortured. You know, hey, think about that adrenochrome, man. Little kids skinned alive and shit to get that shit. Is this truck really stopping at a yellow light down there?
Mm-hmm.
Flashing yellow light. Someone heading back across the street from Speedway. Down there, walking.
You're right there for a while.
Coming this way. Looking stumbly.
He must be drunk.
You sit. You sit. You sit like man. Sit, buddy. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Right. Sit. Good boy. But by the grace of God, there go I. 203, so what is it? 156. Sitting here enjoying this moment of true wealth, my little puppy dog, and my little wife. On this nice night. Drinking us coffee. Watching the deadness of the town. As well, it's kind of dead tonight.
Such an ugly looking skunk.
No, it's not. He's a little cutie.
No, it's not. He's ugly.
No, he's not.
He is too.
He's prettier than a human baby.
No.
Uh-huh.
I don't fucking think so.
206, so it's 159.
He goes.
Where?
Over there.
Over where? I didn't see him come out of the bushes.
He went straight by those vehicles.
Really?
Yeah.
And I didn't even see him. I was pointed the camera right at him.
I seen him. Yeah, someone's looking for him. No kidding.
Oh, that was weird how I could be pointing the camera at him and not see him.
I saw him.
Where'd he do? Go over into the grass? Back there?
Dunno.
He went in front of the vehicles?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's probably already to the grass. The yellow truck, dude.
He came early.
It was 4-door Dodge Ram. 213, so it's 206. Well, he's back to his usual schedule. 1:45 to 1:15 after. It's nicer out tonight than it's been the last couple nights. I can't believe there's not more foot traffic. Just a drunken dude that walked by. Went to Speedway to get him a tall beer. Probably cheaper at Speedway, and he can get a bag. You know? And you gotta argue with the stupid punk cashier. Hey man, can you put it in a bag? That bag don't come out of your pocket. What, they giving you rewards for not using bags? You're supposed to use the bag, fool. Don't send people out of the store without fucking groceries in a bag. It makes you look ghetto and lazy. It makes the store look ghetto and lazy. Motherfuckers walking out with beers in their hands and shit with no bag around them. What is it, dog?
What, my bones?
221. So what is it, 214? And then the next timeline, we don't have none of this shit that's happening here. There's no violence, no theft. There's no prisons because there's nobody who would be a criminal. All that element stops here in this timeline, this temporary timeline. Well, the next timeline is temporary too, as well. It's actually way shorter. It's only 1,000 years because all the riffraff is gone. Oh God, did you hear that mouse on a fucking jet ski?
Come on,
And the jet ski was bogging too. 225, so it's 218. Here comes yellow truck, dude. He just left the Speedway. Came roaring down the road. That's how we knew he was coming. Yeah, there's no thieves, rapists, or child molesters in the next timeline. None of the people who were famous in this timeline are famous in the next timeline. They didn't even make it. Because of what they participated in, the mass dumb down. And the problem with dumb humans is they're The more stupid they are, the more they're entertained by violence and underhanded shit. The less valuable they are as people. Then it gets like this, where it's an infestation of infected contaminants, infected files that have to be removed from the mechanism. And they have to repay the debt they accrued here. Failing their pre-existence so horribly. It's a beautiful thing. If you don't fuck with shit, you let vengeance be yours. And don't interfere with the results of the SpiritScan in any way. See, if you go and lay hands on somebody to get revenge, then you may relinquish them from some time loops. You don't want to do that now. You don't want to make a martyr of somebody that deserves punishment. You don't want to give them no brown nose points to try and pie their way into the next timeline. .247, so it's 2:40 a.m. They got a open sign that's just there all the time. It says open. They don't cover it at night or nothing. And you can hear it's pretty dead. It's supposed to be Ray's Barbecue Brews and Blues. I haven't heard any blues coming up out of there. And right there's the State Police Lab. Little dog smells something, probably a skunk or something. It's a nice ass night out. Yeah, you can see they got cameras all up and down this fucking road here. That's probably why they don't need to patrol it too much. So right there's the camera. And it's pointing up that way at an angle. Probably got them cameras everywhere. All up and down this motherfucker. Missed them going by. County boys going to Speedway. 251, so it's 244. No, he turned at Speedway.
You think we don't
Yeah, he didn't. He just hit his brakes and turned up in there.
А я так не послушаю.
You aggravating dog. Being aggravating tonight.
That's for damn sure.
Why don't you sit? Sit. Thank you. Good boy. Pet him.
Oh, I don't anything, buddy.
He's a good boy. Sits down. When he his ass to. .252, so it's 2:45. count. 255, so it's 248. $259, so it's 252. Rentals. One, so it's 254 a.m. 304, so it's 257. Thought that was gonna be the county boys, that they would have came back around by now, but maybe not. They got a lot of county to patrol though, besides just this little town. No, not a cop. 306, so it's 259. Somebody's cooking bacon. I can smell it. Oh, it's thick in here too. Smell it?
Nope. Nope, I can't smell anything.
So it's 3 a.m. Was that one Cody?
I don't know one thing if I can attention.
You didn't look when you went back?
Fuck no, I'm good.
No, you need to know because, well, you know. Whenever you can be aware of the position of one of those people, you need to be aware of it. Until we're up out of this area completely. Around some safe people. They're a little less lawless. This is like a gunslinger town. Yeah, some things I'm refusing to acknowledge, especially with my camera. You may be able to hear it, but you didn't see it. Yeah, see there. Because, well, there's a lot of shit here that wants to attack your energy. And you make shit happen, you know, good or bad, with the energy that your brainwaves generate. So, if you want to manifest good, you have to, you know, acquire good energy. You have to generate good energy. Let's go, puppy dog. So it's 3:03. At the end of one of the previous videos, I think it's 2 videos back, I got an old video that I made out of a like a brochure video for Krakow tours, and I used pieces of it for a song I did in like 2011 called Legendary Pimp. And for that song, I actually sampled one of my own songs, because I had a music track for it, and I used that. I sampled that, and I sampled the whole music track. I just sped it up, and I put the rap to it, and all the characters and all that stuff that were in it, because there was a lot of characters in the song, a lot of vocals and stuff that went into it. And it's called Legendary Pimp, and it kind of pokes at legends that can get around somebody, you know, that aren't even true. You could be like doing something like on the outskirts or something, like you're running a tour company that, you know, exploits the fact that, you know, certain entities, like, you know, police, so you know who the decoys are, you know, pimps, so you know who the real hoes are, you see. So, you know, you can make some easy money, cash in hand, right? It's not really illegal, except for, you know, the tax part of it. That was before I was hip to getting a DBA and just paying taxes on the shit. Yeah, the music industry taught me a lot about just doing shit. But anyway, it's weird because I'm thinking I should try to remaster that song and release it to where it'll go out on the, like, Spotify and iTunes and shit like that. And it pokes fun at you know, an era in life when, you know, shit like what you're hearing in the background can actually happen, you know. You hear the person who I don't know, like a captive performer, more or less, wanting to get out, get away. You know, you hear him. And at the end, you know, he's got the last line, you know, this ain't funny no more. Because, well, you know, he didn't think it was funny and he wanted out. You hear a lot of laughing in the song because of shit. And that's a beautiful thing about secret collabs, is there can be people in shit and nobody even knows they're there. they just think, oh wow, that sounds like so and so. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the weird things. And I've been notorious since then for online collabs, and it started from that legendary pimp song, that stupid fucking song, that, you know, actually it got attention on the coast. So, and then another song I did sampling somebody on the coast got attention. So those two songs were back to back getting attention in 2012. Here it's like 10 years later, and I recently watched the video, and I was just as dumbfounded by my work as I was back then when I did it. Because, you know, sometimes you can do something that'll dumbfound you. It's not really that pretty or anything, doesn't sound that good, but everything like was delivered, you know. You brought it to the table, you delivered it, you were spot on. That right, little dog, doggy dog.